Imagine you are building a house. You use the finest wood, the strongest bricks, and the most expensive paint. You are meticulous. You are proud. But unknown to you, the water you are using to mix the cement is acidic. It is eating the foundation from the inside out while you are busy polishing the windows. This is exactly what is happening in millions of kitchens across the world right now. People are waking up, feeling disciplined, and choosing foods they believe are shields against disease, when in reality, they are handing a master key to the most feared invader of the human body. I have spent 20 years staring into the abyss of a microscope. I have looked at the distorted, aggressive faces of cancer cells under high magnification. I have seen them thrive, and I have seen them starve. But the most heartbreaking thing I see isn't the disease itself. It's the look of pure betrayal on a patient's face when they realize that their healthy lifestyle was actually a roadmap for the enemy. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was the person we all want to be. She ran 5 miles every morning. She never touched soda. She shopped at the high-end organic markets. She was 54, vibrant, and lived by the rules. When she walked into my office with a lump that shouldn't have been there, she didn't just feel sick. She felt cheated. She looked me in the eyes and asked, "How is this possible?" I did everything right. We sat down and looked at her life, not just her scans. We looked at her perfect diet, and that's when the truth came out. Sarah wasn't a victim of bad luck or bad genes. She was a victim of a massive, multi-billion-dollar marketing lie. She was eating 5 specific foods every single day, foods that the world calls superfoods or healthy alternatives. But these foods were creating a biological playground for cancer. Before I tell you what they are, you have to understand one thing. Cancer is not a ghost. It doesn't just appear out of thin air. It is a biological process. Every single one of us has potentially cancerous cells in our body right now. But they are like tiny sparks in a damp forest. Usually, they just go out. But if you pour gasoline on those sparks, day after day, year after year, eventually, you get a forest fire that no one can put out. The foods I am about to reveal are that gasoline. They don't just provide calories. They provide instructions. They tell your cells to grow, to divide, to ignore the stop signals, and to hide from your immune system. The first betrayal was sitting in Sarah's refrigerator every morning. A tall, cold glass of 100% pure, natural fruit juice. She thought she was drinking a glass of vitamins. The label said, "No sugar added." It said, "High in vitamin C." But here is what the label didn't tell her. When you take a piece of fruit and strip away its fiber, you are left with a metabolic weapon. Think about an orange. It is a masterpiece of nature. The sugar is locked inside a complex web of fiber. Your body has to work to get it out. It's a slow, controlled release. But when you squeeze it into a glass, you are throwing the fiber in the trash. You are drinking liquid sugar. Within seconds of that juice hitting your tongue, your blood sugar doesn't just rise, it explodes. Your pancreas panics. It pumps out a massive wave of insulin to deal with the emergency. And here is the secret the cancer cells know. They have more insulin receptors than healthy cells. They are like starving predators waiting for that insulin spike. Insulin is a growth hormone. It tells cells to get bigger. It tells them to multiply. When Sarah drank that juice every morning, she wasn't just getting her vitamins. She was sending a high-decibel grow signal to every microscopic tumor in her body. She was flooding the system with the exact fuel cancer loves most. But the betrayal went deeper. After her run, Sarah would have a bowl of yogurt, but not just any yogurt. She chose the low-fat version because she wanted to keep her heart healthy. This is perhaps the greatest lie ever told in a grocery store. When food companies take the fat out of yogurt, it tastes like chalk. It's gray and unappealing. So, to make it edible, they replace the fat with 2 things: sugar and thickeners. Sarah's low-fat yogurt had more sugar than a glazed donut. Because it had no fat, there was nothing to slow down the absorption. It was another massive insulin spike, right on the heels of her juice. But it's even worse than that. By removing the healthy fats, you are removing the very thing that makes you feel full. Sarah would eat the yogurt and be hungry again an hour later. Her body was stuck in a cycle of constant hunger and constant insulin elevation. She was keeping her body in a pro-growth state for 24 hours a day. Cancer doesn't need much, but it needs a steady supply of growth signals. Sarah was providing a symphony of them. Then there was the crunch. Sarah loved her granola and her healthy cereal bars. They look earthy. They come in brown packaging with pictures of wheat stalks and sunsets. But if you look at the ingredients, you'll find a graveyard of health. Most granolas are held together by industrial seed oils, canola, soybean, or corn oil. These oils are highly processed under extreme heat and chemical solvents. They are packed with omega-6 fatty acids that create a firestorm of inflammation in your tissues. Cancer loves inflammation. It uses inflammation to break down the walls of healthy cells so it can invade them. It uses inflammation to build new blood vessels to feed itself. When you eat these healthy bars, you are literally building the infrastructure for a tumor. You are making your body a hospitable place for a disease that should never have been able to take root. But the most shocking discovery for Sarah was the bread. She had completely given up white bread years ago. She only ate 100% whole wheat. She thought she was being a hero for her health. But modern wheat is not the wheat your great-grandmother ate. It has been hybridized and modified to grow fast and be packed with a protein called amylopectin A. This specific starch is converted into blood sugar faster than almost anything else. 2 slices of whole wheat bread can raise your blood sugar more than 2 tablespoons of pure white sugar. For Sarah's body, there was no difference between her healthy turkey sandwich and eating a candy bar for lunch. The insulin spike was the same. The growth signal was the same. The metabolic damage was the same. And then there was the evening ritual, a single glass of red wine. After all, the news says it's good for the heart, right? The resveratrol myth is one of the most dangerous half-truths in medicine. To get any benefit from the resveratrol in wine, you would have to drink hundreds of gallons a day. But to get the damage from the alcohol, you only need 1 glass. Alcohol is a Group 1 carcinogen. That is the same classification as asbestos and tobacco. There is no safe amount when it comes to cancer. When you drink, your body converts that alcohol into something called acetaldehyde. This chemical is a sledgehammer for your DNA. It literally breaks the strands of your genetic code. Usually your body can repair the damage. But when you drink every day, the repairs become sloppy. Mistakes are made. And a mistake in your DNA is the exact definition of the start of cancer. Sarah was silent as I explained this. She looked at her hands, the hands that had prepared these healthy meals for her family. The tension in the room was thick. It wasn't just sadness, it was a realization of power. Because if these choices had created the environment for the disease, then new choices could change that environment. We didn't just treat Sarah with medicine. We changed the soil of her body. We threw out the juice and replaced it with water and whole lemons. We traded the low-fat yogurt for full-fat, plain Greek yogurt, rich in protein and healthy fats that kept her insulin stable. We ditched the granola for raw walnuts and pumpkin seeds. We walked away from the bread and embraced leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. Vegetables that contain compounds that actually tell cancer cells to commit suicide. And we cut the alcohol entirely. Within months, the change was visible, not just on her scans, but in her blood. Her fasting insulin levels plummeted. Her markers of inflammation, things like C-reactive protein, dropped into the basement. Her body was no longer a greenhouse for growth. It was a fortress of defense. You see, the secret is that your body is always trying to heal. It is always trying to find balance. But you have to stop sabotaging the process. You have to stop listening to the slogans on the box and start listening to the biology of your cells. If you are sitting there right now, thinking about your own kitchen, don't feel guilty. Feel empowered. You are not a spectator in your own health. You are the lead architect. Every time you pick up a fork, you are voting. You are voting for growth, or you are voting for repair. You are voting for inflammation, or you are voting for clarity. The most dangerous words in the English language are everything in moderation. Some things do not belong in your body in any amount if you want to be truly vibrant. You wouldn't put a little bit of sugar in your car's gas tank. You wouldn't put moderate amounts of salt in your fish tank. Your body is a precision instrument. It deserves precision fuel. I want you to take a long, hard look at your pantry. If it has a long shelf life, it's probably shortening yours. If it has a healthy claim printed on the front in bright colors, be suspicious. The healthiest foods in the world don't have labels. An avocado doesn't need to tell you it's heart healthy. A piece of wild-caught salmon doesn't need a marketing team. The shift from being a healthy eater to being a metabolically bulletproof eater is the most important journey you will ever take. It's the difference between hoping you stay well and knowing you are doing everything to ensure it. I saw Sarah a few weeks ago. She's 3 years clear now, but she's more than just clear. She's different. The fear that used to live in her eyes has been replaced by a quiet, steady confidence. She knows she isn't just lucky. She knows she has reclaimed her foundation. This isn't about restriction. This is about freedom. Freedom from the lies, freedom from the spikes and crashes, and freedom from the silent growth of things that should never be. Start today, not tomorrow. Today. Look at that glass of juice and see it for what it is, a flood of sugar. Look at that low-fat yogurt and see the hidden additives. Look at the bread and see the insulin spike. And then, choose something better. Choose a life where your body is an inhospitable place for disease. You have the information now. The curtain has been pulled back. The marketing can't reach you if you know the truth. You are the guardian of your own DNA. You are the protector of your own future. Take a breath. Feel the life in your body. It wants to survive. It wants to thrive. It's just waiting for you to give it the right tools. No more gasoline. No more acidic water. Just pure, clean, biological integrity. This is your wake-up call. This is your turning point. The kitchen is yours. The choice is yours. Choose life. Choose strength. And never let a label tell you what healthy looks like. You know the truth now. Go out and live it.